Urgent America's Team fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Cowboys disruptive Pro Bowler to leave Dallas per insider prediction. The Dallas Cowboys have already made several moves this offseason, and they're one priority is retaining the services of their homegrown talent. Osa Odigizua, C.J. Goodwin, Brock Hoffman, and Marquise Bell have already agreed to terms, but others might require a more detailed review. One is corner Jordan Lewis, and the other is defensive end Demarcus Lawrence. The veteran saw his season end prematurely last season after just 4 games. He is now a free agent and looking to sort out his future. Lawrence's agent, David Cantor, stated at the NFL Scouting Combine that there's a number and that if that number is agreed upon, Lawrence will be a Cowboy in 2025. For USA Today, getting D-Law resigned is a top priority. He will be 33 next month, but he's proven to still be a disruptive force off the edge 11 seasons in, USA Today writes. He suffered a season-ending Lisfranc injury in Week 4, but posted 3 sacks, a forced fumble, 4 tackles for loss, and 5 QB hits before the injury. Has 1 year removed from grading as the 8th overall edge rusher per PFF, but our Mike Fisher, while not disagreeing with the disruptive force part, is predicting that Dallas will not prioritize D-Law and that the longtime standout might sign elsewhere. The Cowboys' initial plan going into the blow-it-up concept of a year ago was to say goodbye to Zach Martin and Demarcus Lawrence, Fish says. I think the organization has been planning to turn the page here. Lawrence, maybe unfairly, is almost the forgotten man from 2024, and his stats prior to his injury suggest that he still has plenty left in the tank. But D-Law will likely command a market value of $12 million APY per spot rack, calm and a 2-year deal worth $24 million. Will the Cowboys fork out that kind of money? Again, Fisher doesn't see that happening here. Osa has already signed Micah Parsons. Should be next, plus with the return of Sam Williams and Marshawn Kneeland, Lawrence could give the defensive line under new coordinator Matt Eberflus some serious help superb against the run. Lawrence played well last season when the Cowboys didn't, and yes, the money might be a bit steep, but as Lawrence stated, the ball is in their court regarding the contract. So Lawrence knows what he wants, and so does Dallas. But how much do the Cowboys want a D-Law return? We won't have to wait long to find out. Pausing this news, just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest America's team. News to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. X-Raider signs $4 million contract with Cowboys, one aspect of the game that has not been an issue for the Las Vegas Raiders over the last 2 decades is the special teams unit, which is seemingly always equipped with top-notch kickers and punters. But there is another key piece of the special teams puzzle that is often forgotten about the long snapper. Trent Sieg was a tremendous player at the position for 5 years for the Silver and Black before leaving in free agency in 2023 and signing with the Dallas Cowboys. Once again this offseason, Sieg is signing with the Cowboys, this time on a 3-year, $45 million deal with $1 million guaranteed. Sieg played in 80 games for the Raiders and missed only 2 contests during his 5-year stint with the team. He was a pivotal piece in the development of young specialists Daniel Carlson and A.J. Cole, both of whom shined for the Raiders in both Oakland and Las Vegas due to Sieg's help. In Dallas, Sieg has played in all 34 contests over the past 2 seasons. He has also been a key cog in Brandon Aubrey and Brian Anger's success for the Cowboys, and even snapped the ball for Aubrey's league-leading 65-yard field goal last season. He will now return to America's team under new head coach Brian Schottenheimer. Cowboys free agent rumor interest in a pair of free agents from San Francisco. The Dallas Cowboys enter the legal tampering period of free agency with glaring holes on defense. Linebacker was always a need, but with Jordan Lewis moving on to the Jacksonville Jaguars on a reported 3-year, $30 million deal, cornerback is now near the top of the list. Stephen Jones said that before free agency, the team would be selectively aggressive with free agency and could be more active this season compared to last year when looking outside the building. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN mentioned that the team could be interested in a pair of free agents from the San Francisco 49ers, Dre Greenlaw and Charvarius Ward. The Cowboys' interest in Ward is nothing new. They signed him as an undrafted free agent as a rookie in 2018, but traded him to Kansas City before the season in favor of guard Parker Ehinger. Ward became a stud with the Chiefs and then became a Pro Bowl corner with the 49ers. Ward is familiar with the building and some of the coaching staff. His former defensive coordinator, Nick Sorensen, is Dallas' special teams coordinator. Dallas could use another outside cornerback with Trevon Diggs' status up in the air for the start of the 2025 season after off-season knee surgery. Darren Bland can play either inside or outside, so Ward could help until Diggs is healthy, and then the coaches can figure out where Bland best fits their game plan. Greenlaw has the same familiarity with Sorensen, and Dallas could undoubtedly use proven depth at the linebacker position. Maris Lufau and Damone Clark are the only proven linebackers on the team, with DeMarvion Overshone recovering from injury and Eric Kendricks hitting free agency. Greenlaw spent most of last year rehabbing from a torn Achilles he suffered in the Super Bowl, but played in 2 games, helping elevate his stock before free agency. Outside of resigning long snapper Trent Sieg to a 3-year deal, the Cowboys have been relatively quiet on day one. If they can negotiate a few deals with players like Greenlaw and Ward, their defense looks much better on paper than it did to start the day. Free agency roundup: Jordan Lewis to Jags, Bell and Sieg are back. More Monday marked the beginning of the NFL's legal tampering period, which allows external free agents to begin negotiating terms with franchises from around the league. They can't officially sign contracts until free agency begins at 3 p.m. CDT on Wednesday, but there's already been plenty of movement around the league. For the Cowboys, a lot of their free agency moves came from taking care of the players that were already on their roster in the 2024 season. That's usually been the case for the franchise, and it was no different on 2025's opening day. Jordan Lewis expected to sign with the Jacksonville Jaguars' Osa Odigizua, and Jordan Lewis were the Cowboys' top 2 priorities going into the 2025 offseason. Dallas resigned Odigizua to a 4-year, $80 million extension, but couldn't land on a deal with Lewis, who reportedly will become the highest-paid nickel cornerback in the NFL upon signing with the Jaguars. Lewis had spent all 8 of his NFL seasons with the Cowboys after the team selected him in the 3rd round of the 2017 NFL Draft, and is coming off one of the best seasons of his career, where he posted 71 tackles, 8 passes defended, and an interception. His impact was also felt as a leader in the locker room, an aspect that Dallas will sorely miss. Now Dallas has some decisions to make in the cornerback room, with Trevon Diggs and Josh Butler potentially missing time next season due to injury. That leaves Deron Bland, Kalen Carson, Andrew Booth, and Keeman Hall as the cornerbacks remaining on the roster. Whether it be through the draft or free agency, expect the Cowboys to look to bolster their personnel in that department. Marquise Bell signs multi-year contract extension with Cowboys. Marquise Bell officially put pen to paper on a contract extension Monday, sticking around in Dallas for the next 3 seasons. Bell was one of 2 restricted free agents that the Cowboys had heading into the offseason, leaving Kevontae Turpin as the only one remaining on the roster. Bell's consistently been reliable for Dallas on special teams after being moved from safety to linebacker and back to safety in his first 3 NFL seasons. In 2024, he suffered a season-ending shoulder injury in the Cowboys' Week 11 loss to the Houston Texans and will look to bounce back in 2025. Chuma Edoga expected to join Jacksonville Jaguars. After Jordan Lewis reportedly agreed to terms with the Jaguars earlier in the day, Cowboys offensive tackle Chuma Edoga is expected to follow his teammate from Dallas to Jacksonville. The Cowboys were the 3rd team that Edoga has played for in his career after being drafted by the New York Jets in the 3rd round of the 2019 NFL Draft. He spent 3 seasons in New York and 1 with the Atlanta Falcons before landing in Dallas in 2023 to provide depth at left tackle. Over the course of the 22 games that he was available during his time in Dallas, Edoga started 10 games and allowed 5 sacks and 23 quarterback pressures while playing both left tackle and left guard. Cowboys agreed to terms on extension with Long. Snapper Trent Sieg Brandon Aubrey made it clear at the Super Bowl that he wanted the Cowboys to retain punter Brian Anger and long snapper Trent Sieg, and Dallas took one step forward in that department by resigning Sieg. Sieg's return gives Aubrey and new special teams coordinator Nick Sorensen some continuity in the kicking game from the snapping perspective, and now all that remains is Anger, his holder, who is an unrestricted free agent that has spent the last 4 seasons with the Cowboys. And now, America's team fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for your team. It'll be back any moment. With more America's team news, how about them Cowboys?